Everyone, this is John from 580's Talking Toys, and today I went to Farleycon, which is a toy show, comic book show, all kinds of entertainment show. They had professional wrestlers there, they had artists, they had writers of comic books, and a whole bunch of vendors and stuff that mainly selling comic books, I think, is the focus, but there were some vendors selling toys, and I picked up I didn't have any intentions of picking up anything other than vintage today. Wasn't a whole lot of vintage there to pick up, but I picked up a retro collection, a couple of figures from the retro collection, not because I wanted them for my collection, but because I wanted to share a comparison between the retro collection figures and the vintage figures, not the vintage collection figures, but the vintage figures. Let me see if I can adjust this light a little bit. A little better. Anyway, so I've got a Yoda, and the reason why I wanted to do the Yoda is because he is scary. How similar he is to the original vintage line. So I'm gonna, we deal a lot with reproduction weapons and stuff like that. This isn't necessarily a reproduction, but some people may pass this cane off. For instance, the cane itself sells for $50. And the snake sells for 25, somewhere in there, and the cloak sells for about 10 to 15, and the belt sells for 10 to 15. So it's very gnarly because these I'll just show it to you. This thing is so close to the original that it's not even funny. So here's the retro figure here, and then here is the vintage line, and I've got the accessories laid out. I'm going to open this up because I really don't have any interest in saving this in the package. And the whole reason I bought it was to kind of give everybody an idea of what we're up against as far as vintage collectors. Oh, I adjusted something I shouldn't have adjusted. There we go. Okay, so this is the original Yoda, and look, there he is. He's in his faded paint glory, and he's got some nicks on his fingers. And I think this was a cherry eye, but it did not come with the robe, the cloak that had the Hong Kong tag in it. I'm a little disappointed when I got that, but anyway, that's the cherry-eyed Yoda. So there's the original Yoda, and there's all of his original accessories. And if you saw my repro roundup, you'll know that the accessory for the Yoda cane, there it is. You can bend it, and it'll bend back into form. And hopefully we can get a good read on the. I don't know why it's so blurry. I may switch my light over there a little bit. But anyway, so we're going to open this guy up, and I want to check out his accessories, and we'll talk about the feel of the figure and all that stuff. So here we go. Now open him up like an 8-year-old on Christmas morning. There's the card, and then here's all of the warnings and stuff that come with the new figures. All the new figures have this, which I think takes away from the collectability of these anyway. And all these different languages, warnings and stuff like that. So anyway, there's that. Tossing that. All right, so here he is. He's got the backer blister. There's the blister on the front. Here's the backer blister. We'll pull him out and that flow. Well, I can tell the difference already. That's good. I can see that this is not an original cane. But here's the scary part. As I picked it out, let me get this light over here, see if I can get some more light on it. Get the light away from me, get it on the, maybe you can see a little bit better that way. You can see to the novice collector that is really, really close to the original. There's the original. The knot is exactly the same. It's a little bit shorter. It's a little bit shorter than the Yoda cane, so that's good. Still, look at the sprue markings on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. And it has almost the same texture as the original Yoda cane. So do not be fooled by these guys. All right, so the knot is not as defined as the original. That's a good sign. It does have the wood grain like the original did. So it is super, 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 super close. Look at that. Okay, so for reference again, here is, it's a little bit shorter. It's a little bit shorter than the original cane, and it's got a different, kind of a different color to it. So don't be fooled by this cane, because it will bend like an original cane. So it is not necessarily a repro, but it is scary close. It is very, very, very close. There's the repro, the retro line, and then there's the original. The original looks like it's a little bit shinier too, and that's one of the shades that it comes in too. That's one of the shades that the original Yoda cane. Oh, another thing I just noticed here at the base of the cane, it narrows down, and this one does not narrow. So guys, be careful when you're buying this Yoda stuff. Ooh, this is that one. This is okay. So there's Yoda again, and here we go. I'm gonna pull him out. His ears to pop off. One thing that is definitely noticeably different about this Yoda is the the COO markings. There's no COO markings really. There's just item numbers on the bottom. It's printed right here. And it looks like, is there a date on there? I can't really tell if there's a date. So there is Yoda really, really close. Well, his head's a little wonky, but all right. So now we're going to go with the snake. Here's another one that might get some people confused. The snake, it feels like it's a different texture. Man, it is so close. It is so close. It's more of a, I guess it's kind of like a satiny kind of finish as opposed to the glossy kind of finish here. And you can tell it's a different type of plastic than the original Yoda snake. But this one's, again, this Yoda snake, sorry about my hands and stuff, it's gross. This snake is a lot shinier than the retro snake, so that's good. You can tell. There's the retro snake. Oh, goodness. No, wait a minute. Look at this. Here's another thing that might. Some of the snakes have like an EPM where it comes off the sprue in the same spot, the exact same spot as this one. I don't know if you can see that. But again, really good, really scary close. I mean, it's the same shape and everything. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, let's look at the belt. This is the original belt, and see, this is exactly what I thought. This is the 3 EPM belt that comes with the cherry-eyed Yoda, but I did not have a Hong Kong tag. Stinks. The three EPMs on the inside. See that? There's the flashlight. I think people were telling me that's a flashlight, or I always thought it was a dagger, or a saber, but I've been told otherwise now. So there's that belt, the detail on the belt, and there's an EPM right there. So there's that one. Let's look at the retro Yoda. The danger of this is that for the collectors and new sellers and stuff like that, man, this is this is almost exactly like the other one. Is that people are going to be selling these as new. This is almost exactly like the other belt. Of course, the belts only fetch about $10 to $15 a piece. But okay, here's a notable difference. The hole where the belt attaches is larger. You see that? Let's do that. The hole where the belt attaches is larger than the original. And it looks like this had the connection there has like a little stopper, so it can go all the way in and it kind of snaps on there. Oh, that's weird. Must be part of the plastic. Just kind of. So that's and this is the belt itself. Looks like it's a little bit flimsier, but I mean they're super close, super close. So there's the OG, and there's the retro, and then now the cloak. We're gonna look at the figure too. All right, so I can tell a little bit of difference here. The cloak is hard to tell, but you can see the pattern. It's a different type of pattern. Oh, and it feels like there's some kind of backing on here to keep it fuzzy. It feels like there's some kind of backing. The stitching is a little bit different. Here is the original. Yeah, it definitely feels like there's some kind of synthetic backing here. And it does feel a little bit different texturally. But again, my gosh, look at that, guys. It's really, really close. Really close. There's the original. There is the retro. Really close. And so in order to, really discern which one's the right one, you're going to have to feel it. You're going to have to touch it. So be careful out there. Now, the Yoda figure itself, I mean, these are cheap. They're not made very well at all. These guys, I mean, this guy is sturdy. Boom, can be played with. Legs are firm. And again, the COO right here on the back, Hong Kong. The date stamp, 1980. Lucasfilm Limited. Head turns. Everything's kosher. Everything's cool. But again, really, really close. And it looks like the new Yoda is just a tad bit shorter. Just a tad bit shorter, but man, they look really close, really good. So people were worried about the date on the new figures, and here is the trademark and stuff for him. Vietnam, made in Vietnam. So if you have a Yoda that's made in Vietnam, it is a retro. If all this stuff is faded off the bottom and worn down, but this is printed in there. This is like embossed in the feet. So you shouldn't have a problem with that. But look at the peg stands, the peg holes and everything look exactly the same. Right. But you can see the difference. There's I guess it's a date. I don't know. Something 6/31. There's not 31 days in June, but yeah. So there you have it. There's the Yoda. Really, really close to the original. So I think it's fun to collect these retro figures, and I like some of the retro figures, but I like the figures that they don't have, they never had before. Like I've got the Dark Trooper, right? They didn't make him before, and he has his own style weapon. But some of these figures have like the original looking weapons too. So That's something you need to be aware of too. I bought a couple of others. I'll probably do videos on these later, but I got, just because the blasters are so unique and different. There's the Luke Skywalker Bespin, and he looks really close too. There's his lightsaber. The lightsaber, it looks like an original lightsaber. The hilt looks a little bit different, and the blaster looks a lot like the original blaster. And then there's Hoth Leia, and this is not a blue-black blaster, okay? This is a black blaster. They never made a black blaster for Leia. Just remember that. And the barrel is sectioned. It looks like there's a couple of sections on the barrel. Like it's larger, and then it gets smaller as it goes toward the grip. Anyway, that's it for today for the Yoda comparison. Thanks for tuning in and watching. I hope you learned something today. Stay away from the retro stuff. I mean, like the cane. Again, here's the retro cane. Well, where's my hand? Here's the retro cane. And then here is the original cane. All right, you can tell the differences. But you have to look at them. You have to like pick them up and look at them and feel them and touch them. And, you know, again, the scary part is with the repro canes, you can't bend them. But with the retro canes, you can. So be wary whenever you're buying these figures. If you're buying for your vintage collection, your personal collection for vintage. I hope this helped. Please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it out. And I hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for tuning in.